evening, everyone, and welcome to 27 Minutes here on WJTS. For this week's school report, we go to St. Anthony Elementary School for their Young Authors Day program.
You could hear a bear out there at the edge of that cave, right there below the trees. We're just getting buds.
Hey, I smell it streaking blue. Hey, guys, come on over for the party. It's party day.
People tell stories and express feelings every day. They use words, pictures, and movement, which often takes form as a story.
The honey from the honey jar. Yeah, you.
Works of art.
Thank you. I got in a hurry.
We have value and worth.
Are in music. Mary Jo Huff, Bill Pickle, and Randy Beard, as guests at St. Anthony Elementary School, were sharing some of their favorite ways of telling stories and expressing themselves.
Make money, but to have fun.
Local artist Bill Pickle shared his art and some lessons on perspective.
But I like to read quick, fast things. It really doesn't matter what you read. It's that you read all the time.
Storyteller Mary Jo Huff shared some storytelling tips and her excitement for making a story come alive.
Let's turn it on and see where we are.
Students discovered lessons about balance and order in music through the guidance of musician and songwriter Randy Beard.
Now there's a thought. Everyone stand up here. Let's try that. And then we'll go a couple of responsibilities. Responsibility, responsibility. It's up to you and it's up to me. Here we go. Responsibility, responsibility. It's up to you and it's up to me.
Aaron was on his team.
It's all part of the Young Authors Day program.
We didn't need him on our team. Can't you tell those guys?
Where the children each will read a book that they have written, but they will read it in a small group with different volunteers from the community. And we'll have a storyteller, and Randy will be here also, and taking their stories that they've written and creating songs from them. And we also have an artist. So very valuable because children need to express themselves through writing, not only to express their thoughts and emotions, but of course, in our world, they need to be good writers and readers, and it all works together.
Creativity. And I've always said that, and I was sharing with Mr. John about creativity. Some people say, oh, you're so creative out, but you know, it's just being in a place where you feel comfortable about taking chances, about when you write, like with this. When you were coming up with some of these ideas, did your teacher ask you some of these?
An environment where they feel like they can take a risk, and it's all part of it. If they don't feel like they can write something down without it being criticized, then they won't do it. And we are trying to get them to express themselves, and music and art are so wonderful for your brain.
It's a river. It's a river. A peanut butter river. A peanut butter river. Can't go over it. Can't go over it. Can't go under it. Can't go under it.
Basically, that's what we're doing here, is practicing expressing ourselves well. If something's troubling you inside, the best way to release that trouble is to express it to someone. And by singing songs and writing, it could be writing in a diary, which most of our classrooms do here. You know, you're getting your thoughts out, getting your ideas out, and it makes you feel better inside after they're out in the open.
Can't go around it. Can't go around it. Have to swim through it. Have to swim through it.
To express it on paper is much better than to be violent or hurt someone or be aggressive. If you have bad thoughts, better write it in your diary that you're upset with someone than to go hit that person.
I changed the music a little bit around. I was playing with some things on that.
But I tell them, sure, go ahead, write it down. If you're sad about something, write it down. That's the best way to get your feelings out. And they do. And sometimes they don't think they're allowed to do that, but they should, and I encourage it, and I know other teachers do too. Oh, we write down the happy times, and they're more familiar with writing about happy times.
Toni Frick, TV 27 News.
Stay tuned. We'll have more 27 minutes after this. Yes. Construction workers this week set 2 major footbridges in Jasper on the Patoka River in conjunction with the Riverwalk on Tuesday. Contractors installed the first bridge near Rooksur Golf Course. Then on Wednesday, 2 cranes you see here suspended 3 sections of bridge over the water near the bridge on 3rd Avenue while workers fit the pieces together. The Patoka River Walk crosses the river at those 2 locations. The path winds its way along the banks of the Patoka River from 15th Street to Rooksur Golf Course. Construction of the River Walk is being funded through a donation by Jasper businessman Dave Beeler. On Monday, Bob Anastas, the founder and former executive director of Students Against Drunk Driving, will speak to students at both Forest Park High School and Heritage Hills. Anastas has a new program called Check-In to a Winning Life. He speaks to students about banding together, I should say, to do the right thing when it comes to using illegal drugs and alcohol. He also talks about finding a way to succeed in both school, life, and everything else. Anastas will be at Forest Park at 9 a.m., then go down to Heritage Hills for a 1 o'clock presentation. The event made possible with support from Hettinger Beverage Distributing Company, the local Anheuser-Busch distributor. It's now time for today's Homeowner, brought to you by Crip Lumber Company in Jasper.
Any home improvement project is made a lot easier with the right tools, and painting is no exception. You need to start out with a good quality brush. Now, it'll be a little more expensive, but it'll make the job a lot easier, and you can make this brush last a long time by maintaining it properly. After you've finished every paint job, clean it well and use a wire brush to really straighten out and clean the bristles. Also, always save the original case on it and return the brush each time to the original case. This will allow you to really keep the shape of the brush real well. And also, once you've got it all together like this, just hang it on a nail in your shop. That'll keep it in good shape. Also, you will rarely see a professional painter without this versatile tool. It allows him to cut open the paint cases on this side, open the paint cans here, do a little scraping, and when he's cleaning up that roller, he's able to really wipe it clean. This will make your job a lot easier when you're painting around your house.
We will come back to 27 minutes after this. Yep. Welcome back. Toni Frick went to the Frances Lindauer Farm this week in Ferdinand for lessons in harvesting power.
It's a 1916 model. It's a 1-cylinder, and
The study of force and motion has come a long way since Aristotle tried to solve some of its mystery.
No, it's a chain drive.
And area 4th graders were probably not thinking about the English engineer Thomas Newcomb's 1712 steam engine, nor how it used heat to do the work. They, however, were discovering many inventions used to harvest power on the farm.
On a train, why the coal car was right here, and the fellow that come with a scoop shovel full of coal, he'd step on there like Henry step on there, and that'll open that door, see? And like on the other steam engines over here, you have to open the door, but every time he'd come with a shovel full, why...
Students from Ferdinand, Pine Ridge, Nancy Hanks, and visiting students at Marion Heights from Germany all took in a tour with its history lesson on the progress of harvesting par. Starting with machinery powered by hand, by horse, by gasoline, and by steam.
Avery built 3 steam engines, 3 sizes, and this is the littlest one. This is the littlest one that Avery built.
It's a presentation that farmer Frances Lindauer and his helpful family and neighbors enjoy presenting year after year.
You'd go down with this, you could come with that other corn planter there, and you'd have fertilizer underneath.
From a simple St-Minded fertilizer or bone meal hand plow to grinding corn by horse power, or churning butter with the help of the farmer's best friend. To the Mowgli, and finally to the Avery. With its steam, bells, light generator, horn, and whistle. Students may not be examining the gears, wheels, axles, and detail of the workings, but the tour's value is surely a lesson in motion and force of time gone by. Just ask visiting Pine Ridge Elementary teachers Glenda Begley and Becky Verkamp.
Well, in our Indiana history, we learn a lot about agriculture and machinery of the past, and I think it's good for them to come and be able to see it firsthand and, you know, see how it works and how far farming has come today.
Okay. And also a lot of our kids have grown up on farms and they can relate to it. And recently in our reading stories we've been talking about how you should not forget about past generations and you should always be reliving them because there's a lot to be told from what has happened in the past and we can learn a lot from it and move forward with the technology. We're capable of doing lots of many good things, and so it's good for the kids to see how far we have come.
Can you think this would be inspiration for them? Maybe some of them will be future inventions of farm equipment in the future?
Oh yeah, I think we've got a lot of scientists and inventors in our group.
Makes them think about things.
Definitely gets their mind to spinning.
The workings of early farm equipment still amazes even Francis himself.
Interesting to me is because whenever they built these engines and all this machinery, they had nothing to look back on, like this Mr. Kitten, whenever he invented the Kitten steam engine. He whittled every piece out with a pocket knife, and they had a foundry here, I remember that yet, and they had no welders, no hydraulic jacks, and it's just amazing to me how you could make something like that there and not look back.
Mr. Kitten may or may not have come across the early works of Thomas Young or the Scottish engineer William Ranke. He may or may not have heard of the first steam locomotive used in the coal mines in South Wales.
This place was right where Frank Heddy and Son is now. That's where the big building was.
Young inventors often dreamt up new inventions, improved on the works that came before them, or moved in new directions while admiring those that went before them. We found retired school board member Fred Hollenden admiring an early farm wagon during the harvesting power session.
The interesting about a wagon is my dad and my uncle, my dad's brother, built these wagons. They used to have a wagon works here in Ferdinand and built these wagons from scratch. They did everything. They made the wooden spokes, they made the rims. The rims is most interesting because this was a town event when they would put the rim on the wooden wheel. They had to heat them and slip them on there and then cool them. And this was, people would gather around and watch them do this because it's quite an art to put the rims on the wheels.
Okay. Why do you think it's so important for these students to come out here and see all this? It's kind of ancient stuff, isn't it?
Well, it's interesting to see I guess the progress we've made since back in those days. The people really had to work hard to do things, and things have made it a lot easier for everyone. And plus the historical value of it is just, it's interesting, I think. I'm enjoying it myself.
Now we're going to get you a wiener, though.
All in all, those studying and those providing the power receive the food of the harvest.
See, this is where you put your cream in, and then if it goes around...
Okay, for Lap, it wasn't butter in that churn, and the dairy products were from modern-day production efforts. But the chicken dinner for the instructors was steam-cooked using an early farm machinery energy. And the horses? Well, they enjoyed a meal from their grinding efforts. Toni Frick, TV 27 News.
We will look in on the Jasper Wildcat baseball program when we come back. Yep. It's been a tough week for the Jasper Wildcats on the baseball field. They dropped 3 out of 4 games they have played so far this week. Jasper suffered their first loss of the season against Evansville Central at Rookser Field, 6-4. The Bears scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning as Heath Phillips unloaded a rocket to right field, a 2-run home run. The Bears pushed their lead to 5-0 in the top of the third as Matt Whitmore had a key 2 RBI single, which was the big blow in that inning. Jasper battled back with 3 in the bottom of the third inning with Reggie Hayes and Jason Wolf drawing 2-out walks before Matt Kiefer ripped an RBI single. The next hitter, Ross Sheeter, then singled to left field, driving in 2 to make it 5-3 Bears. Jasper cut it to 5-4 in the bottom of the 5th as Reggie Hayes singled and was driven in by Matt Kiefer, who singled, but that was as close as the Wildcats would get. Meanwhile, the Bears added a run in the top of the 6th on an RBI single by Adam Swain. Jasper had 7 hits on the game, with Kiefer getting 2 of them with 2 RBIs. Once again, the final score, Central 6, Jasper 4 at Rookser Field. The Wildcats dropped their 2nd straight game as they traveled to Evansville to battle the Memorial Tigers at Bosse Field. Jasper went up 1-0 in the very first inning on an RBI single by Ross Sheeter. Jasper added another run in the top of the third to go up 2-0. Memorial then answered with 2 in the bottom of the third to tie the game. Jasper went up 3-2 before the Tigers came back to take the lead in the bottom of the 6th. A Kevin Godbold triple and a pass ball and a strikeout led to the 2 Tiger runs to push Memorial to a 4-3 lead. Mark Sager threw pretty well for the Wildcats in the ball game, but suffered a loss. Once again, the final at Bosse Field, it was Memorial 4, Jasper 3. Jasper snapped a 2-game losing streak by whipping Pike Central 15-1 on the road. Jasper scored 3 in the second as Mark Sager drove in Ross Sheeter with a double. Michael Ellis then singled to center field, plating Brandon John and Sager. Cats added 2 more in the third. Matt Kiefer unloaded a shot to right field, a solo homer to lead off the inning. Neil Giesler then walked before Brandon John knocked him home with a single. 2 more runs in the fourth for Jasper. Jason Wolf had an RBI single in that inning, driving in Reggie Hayes, who walked earlier. Jasper then hit the Chargers with the knockout punch in the 5th when they sent 12 batters to the plate en route to picking up 8 runs. Brandon John doubled in the inning to lead things off. Matt Kiefer had an RBI single. Kiefer had 3 hits on the game. Jeff Braun also had an RBI single. Cats also took advantage of 5 Pike Central walks in the inning. Matt Kiefer threw a 2-hitter against the Chargers, striking out 5 in the game. The final, Jasper 15, Pike Central 1. Jasper and Castle played what seemed like two different games as the Knights beat the Cats 8-4 at Rookser Field. The Cats scored 4 in the bottom of the second inning. Phil Schwank singled to start the inning. Ross Sheeter doubled while Brandon John singled and Mark Sager hit an RBI double, and like that it was 4-0 Jasper. Starting pitcher Andrew Krieger was cruising. He had only given up 2 hits to Castle, a perennial good-hitting team down through the years, but in the top of the 7th, the sky fell for Krieger and the Wildcats. The Knights struck for 8 runs on 6 hits, 4 errors, including 2 misplayed fly balls in the outfield for Jasper, as Castle sent 12 guys to the plate. With the 4-run lead early, the Wildcats stranded 2 runners in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th innings. They had 9 left for the game. Offensively, Jason Wolf had 2 hits for Jasper. Wildcats now 3-3 on the season. The Wildcats will try to get back on the winning track tomorrow when they host Indianapolis United in a 1 o'clock doubleheader at Rookser Field. You can see those 2 games Sunday at 1 here on UPN 27. Also tomorrow, Southridge will host their tournament at League Stadium starting at 10 o'clock. The Raiders will play Shoals, followed by the Franklin Cubs against North Harrison. Southridge Shoals first, followed by Franklin and North Harrison. This has been a UPN 27 edition of 27 Minutes. For the entire crew, I'm Kurt Gugtsell. Have a great weekend.